spricht Frau Miller. Wir sind jetzt in Kapitel 2 und wir sprechen über Fragen. Fragen is the German word for questions. We're going to talk about word order, Wortstellung, and asking questions, because something kind of neat happens when you ask questions. You may not have even thought about it in English before. So take notes with me, and then we're going to do some guided practice, and then you'll be fast eine Experte. Okay, here we go. So we're going to talk about question formation. In English and in German, to form a question, we're going to use something called inverted word order. And inverted word order means like flipped or backwards, okay? The sequence of the subject and the verb is simply reversed. So if we think about it, a statement, Ich heiße Frau Miller. Ich is the subject, heiße is the verb, subject verb, okay? When I ask a question though, wie heißt du? Heißt is the verb, du is the subject. We flip the order, okay? And that's all we're going to practice here. So the Anweisungen are the directions. We're going to change the statements to questions. So this is a statement. Jan ist zu Hause. You try it. Jan ist zu Hause. That means Jan is at home. Well, we're going to ask a question now. Is Jan at home? So here we have the subject, Jan. I'm going to put a little circle around it. And then ist is my verb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the order and I'm going to put the verb first. So ist is going to be the first word. Then comes my subject, Jan. And the rest of the sentence stays the same. Ist Jan zu Hause? Is Jan at home? All right, let's try the next one. Herr Rieber wohnt in Hamburg. The subject is, or the verb is wohnt. Wohnt means live. Who's living? Herr Rieber, right? So to make that a question, what do I have to do? Flip it around, right? So I'm going to start off with wohnt, and then Herr Rieber in Hamburg. Herr Rieber wohnt in Hamburg. Mr. Rieber lives in Hamburg. If I'm going to ask a question, does Mr. Rieber live in Hamburg? In German, I would say, wohnt Herr Rieber in Hamburg? The other thing you want to be aware of is that in English, we need helping verbs. Does is a helping verb. Does Mr. Rieber? In German, we don't need a helping verb. We just start with the main verb, wohnt. It's actually simpler, but it takes some getting used to. All right, I'd like you to do 3, 4, and 5, and then come back and check your answers. Und jetzt sind wir wieder da. Korrigieren wir unsere Antworten. Let's correct our answers. Starting with number 3. Du kennst Tina. You say it. Du kennst Tina. Du is the subject. Kennst is the verb. So we're going to flip it around. Kennst du Tina? Ja, ich kenne sie. Sie ist sehr nett. Yeah? Practice your vocabulary in context. It makes much more sense. Yeah? Susanna ist 16 Jahre alt. Susanna is 16 years old. You say it. Susanna is 16 Jahre alt. Switch around the subject, Susanna, and ist the verb. Ist Susanna 16 Jahre alt? Ja, sie ist 16. Or nein, sie ist 17 Jahre alt. Okay? Nummer 5. Er heißt Oliver. Er is the subject. Heißt means is named or is called. He is called Oliver. We're going to switch around the subject and the verb. Heißt er Oliver? Is he named Oliver? You can be like, ja, heißt Oliver. Or nein, heißt Martin. Okay? All right. Next part, we're just recalling that our question words and also knowing that this inverted word order is also used when we have question words. Okay? Some question words in German are wie, which is how. Wo, which is where. Wer, which is who. Okay? Don't get those two confused. Woher, which we use with woher kommst du, yeah, means where from. Wie viel, how much or how many. And the last one here is wohin. Wohin is a new one for this unit. We're going to use it with our motion verbs like gehen. Wohin gehst du? Where are you going to? Okay? With all of those question words, we also use inverted word order. We use inverted order with verb first questions, like the one we practiced at the top. Heißt er Oliver? Because heißt is a verb. is a verb first question. And we usually get like yes or no answers in response to verb first questions. Whereas with interrogative questions, we actually get information. We'll get like the age. Wie alt bist du? 16. Or if I say, wo wohnst du? In York. We get sort of information as opposed to ja oder nein, yes or no. All right, let's go down and practice a little bit more. Jetzt machen wir weiter. Wir sind jetzt auf Seite 2. We're on the second page. Here it says, write the indicated question word. It's either wie, wo, or wer. Here we're going to practice the knowing which one fits the best. But you have to know what they mean. Wie means how, wo means where, and wer means where, okay? So Nummer 1, blank alt bist du? The answer is 16. We're asking about somebody's age. Which of these question words are we going to use? You got it. Wie, right? Wie alt bist du? Yeah? Nummer 2, blank wohnt dein Freund? In der Bannisterstraße. What do you think? How, where, or who? Wo. Wo wohnt dein Freund? Where does your friend live? And I always do want to point out, here, wohnt is the verb and dein Freund is the subject. Okay, inverted word order used with questions. Nummer 3, blank wohnt da drüben? The answer is Helmut. So here we use the same verb wohnt, but the answer is Helmut. Helmut is a person. So which of these are we going to use with a person? You got it. Wer. Wer means who. Wer wohnt da drüben? Who lives over there? Helmut wohnt da drüben. Okay? I want you to stop the video, answer questions 4 through 7, and come back and check your answers. Nummer 4. Wie heißen Sie? And Sie, because it has a capital S here, does not mean she. It means you formal. How are you called? Or how are you named? Mrs. Huber. Mrs. Huber is somebody you have to show respect to, and we reinforce that by using the special word for you when we have to talk to somebody we have to show respect to. Maybe Sie, maybe she's the principal, or maybe she's a police officer. Wie heißen Sie? What is your name? Okay. Nummer 5. Wie viel ist 18 minus 1? How many is 18 minus 1? 17. Okay. With math questions, sometimes we use wie viel. 6 is, wo ist Susanna's Bruder? The answer was in der Schule. In der Schule tells us where he is. We're going to use the question word wo. Nummer 7. Wer ist die Frau? The answer is meine Mutter. My mother. My mother's a person. I'm going to ask, who is the woman? Wer ist die Frau? Hope you got those right. All right. The next part, last part here. And we're practicing interrogatives and basically using the best one. So if I want to ask a question and the answer is, das ist Anna. I'm going to use this ist das in my question. And Anna is a person. So what question word do I usually use with people? Well, the answer is there. I'm going to use my inverted word order. Okay. In this sentence, ist is my verb and das is actually the subject. So I'm going to create a question, have my question word wer, verb, subject. Wer ist das? Who is that? The answer is, das ist Anna. Okay? Try Nummer 2. Herr Meier wohnt in Ulm. Okay? Ulm, it says in Ulm, and that's a city. Okay? Think about cities as a location. What question word do I use with locations? Well, usually I use the question word wo, right? Where? Now, if I look back in my sentence here, my verb is wohnt. My subject is Herr Meier. So I'm going to use that information when I continue this question. I'm going to use my question word or my verb wohnt, and then Herr Meier. Wo wohnt Herr Meier? Herr Meier wohnt in Ulm. Just reinforcing that we use inverted word order with our interrogatives and also just practicing the meaning of them as well. Okay? I'm going to do number 3 with you, and then you're on your own. Okay? Nummer 3. 4 plus 9 ist 13. That is a math problem. Okay? Now, let's before we go into which question word we're going to use, let's locate the verb and the subject. Well, the verb is easy. Ist. Ist means is, and that is a verb. In this one, we have a compound subject, 4 plus 9, and that gives me a number, okay? When we're asking about a number or how, oops, I gave it away, how many, right? That's going to be my question. So how is wie? You remember how many or much is? Viel, spelled V-I-E-L. Remember the V makes the sound, foul. Viel, wie viel. Look over at my, I located the verb and the subject. The verb is ist, and my compound subject is 4 plus 9. So my question, wie viel ist 4 plus 9? How much is 4 plus 9? I could say 4 plus 9 is 13. Okay? All right. I'd like you to try 4 through 7, and I would like you to recall the 2 types of questions that you have that we talked about today, and I want you to give an example of each. You can use the worksheet to help you out. We're going to go over these in class. Bis bald.